All right, so today we're going to be doing some easy modern home decor DIYs that anybody can do. I saw these bowls at Walmart. They were like 50 cents each, and this cup. And I was like, oh, that's a cute shape. I've done something like this before, but I just thought the shape was so cute, and I just wanted to do something like it again. So first, just going to take off the stickers, and you can line them up by the little dot in the middle and glue them together. Once that dries, I came in with some caulk from the Dollar Tree, and I just filled in a little gap there. You don't have to do that part, but it just kind of helps it make it look like it's one single piece if you fill in any, like, gaps and dips and stuff like that. And then you can let that dry, and then you can sand off so it's nice and even if you want. But I wanted mine to have kind of a rough texture. You can also cover the whole thing too. I was out of white spray paint at the time, so I just covered it in the white paint that I had available, but you can spray paint this, it'll be easier. You just need like 1 or 2 coats, and then once that dried, I came in with this stone paint, and this is how it turned out. Oh, and by the way, after I did this, I saw an RH piece that looks just like this, and I'll insert that. All right, now for this one is another easy and simple one. All right, I have like a scrap of wood block, but the Dollar Tree does have wood blocks that you can buy now. I got dowels from the Dollar Tree, and then I have these glasses from the Dollar Tree that I'm just going to be using the bottom of. They come in 2 pieces. They're kind of like a wine champagne type glass, but I'm just going to be using the bottom of them. I'm going to line them up and just mark where I want mine to be, kind of in the center of the wood piece, and then you're just going to get the right drill bit to fit the dowels and just drill the holes, not all the way through, but deep enough so that it gives you a good amount of support. And then you just make sure they fit, and then that would be that for that part. Once you have all of your holes, then you're just going to see how long too you want the dowels to be, because I don't want them all the same length, because I want them to I don't know if stagger is the right word, but I just want them to be different lengths so that they're not all the same length straight across. So I'm just going to mark those, and the dowels are easy to cut. I just take the scissor and kind of score them and snap it, and it's real easy. And if you don't like the rough edge, that's fine, because I left the straight edges on one side, and I put the rough edges in the little holes that I drilled there. Not that it really matters, but I put the rough edges in the holes that I drilled there. I just took some hot glue. You can use a different kind of glue. This is the most important part. When you are drilling your holes, make sure you're not doing it on an angle or anything like that, that you're just coming straight in and drilling straight down. I drilled mine kind of on an angle, so my sticks are kind of wonky there, if you can see it. My candle still stood up, but you want to drill it straight down. And then I just take and dab a little bit of glue again on the end of the cup base, and just place those there. It has a little piece at the top, but that doesn't matter because it doesn't affect it in any way. And then I just hit it with spray paint. You could stain it, you could do so many different things, but this is how it turned out. Okay, now for this one you can use fresh canvas, but I just had these, and I don't like wasting things, so you really don't need to do this step, but I painted mine white. This is kind of a dupe, but I turned it into my own colors because I love white and black pieces. But the original piece that I saw was a black canvas, and then it had gold metal. So these are pieces that I got from the Dollar Tree. I could only find silver, but they come in different colors. You see, they come in this gold, which is so cute, and it goes well with the black, and it comes in a black, but I couldn't find those. But this is how mine turned out when it was done. I spray painted them, did the canvas, and then I'm just going to make a hoop for the back. If I can find me a thicker rope than this twine that I'm always using from the Dollar Tree, I'll start using that. But I just braided it and made a little hoop for the back. So you can use anything, just something, you know, a little sturdy. And I use a lot of hot glue. I let it dry till it hardens, and you'll have a good hook that stays. And then I just did the same with the things, but you can see the different texture in the gold one and the silver one. They have different texture to them, and these are bendable. So if you wanted to create more texture or do different things with this, you can, because they are bendable. I'm just going to take and put some hot glue along the edges and hold it down till it sticks in place, and then you'll have a set of artwork. And I'll also insert the picture of the inspiration. All right, now for this one, another simple one, and I'm using just things from the Dollar Tree. For this one, you're going to want to use, I just wanted to show you there's two different size plates there. You're going to want to use the bigger plate if you don't want the ridges. But I just took a Dollar Tree foam ring, and I'm just going to cut it off to the bottom is flat. You can also just attach something on the bottom here to make it flat, but you want to make sure it's nice and flat so that it stands up. So if it's not the first go, just shave off lightly. Don't go too heavy, because, you know, then you won't have a good piece. But you can see the bigger plate covers it more. The smaller plate covers it, but it has those little ridges. So if you can find a plate without ridges, this will work too. It has the little ridges, and I didn't want those ridges, so I cut it down. But then you can see it's too small. It goes in, so you can just glue it and have it like that, and then you would have a little dip there. But the bigger plate works better if you're having to cut off the ridges. So these are just like, you know, styrofoam plates. But once you cut off most of the ridges there, you see it fits good, and it doesn't mess up the flat piece there that you need for it to stand up. But you can always just cut that piece too. But once you have your plates cut, you can hot glue them. Dollar Tree also has like the little plastic plates, but they have a top ridge on it, which you could use and then decorate it. You can do this with crushed glass, make it a little glam. You can do this so many different ways, but I just did it plain and simple. And then I just took one of the Dollar Tree kind of like dessert shot glasses, and they come in a pack. I'm just gonna put one of those on top so that it has a long nose top, I don't know what you call it, to it. The hot glue wasn't working so well. I filled it up with hot glue. It wasn't working so well, so I'm just going to tape it to make sure it stays in place along with the hot glue. And that's okay that it's not like super even, because I'm going to be using the Dollar Tree caulk to give it just a little more texture and to fill in all of the creases and stuff that are there from the plate attaching to the foam and the cup attaching to the top. And so it'll cover all that up real good. You can cover the whole thing. You can just cover that part right there, but I covered my whole thing, and you see it has a little texture. You could smooth it out with a little bit of water on your finger and have it nice and even, but I didn't, and I covered it with spray paint, and this is how it came out. The sun is not letting it shine the way it should, but I like sitting things there on the console table, but that's how it came out. Now for this one, another simple one. These are just toys from the Dollar Tree. They are brain teasers, and I like a good decor piece. So these open up so you can play around with these and readjust them. But you pull out the straight piece, and then you can take it apart. But I just left it the way it is. If you wanted to be more stable, you could go in there with some glue and secure the pieces together so that they stay nice. Again, I'm just using dowels from the Dollar Tree and a scrap wood piece that I have. But if you don't have that, you can just get the wood block from the Dollar Tree. They have like a long wood block that you can get. I'm just going to cut them down in size. Again, you just score it and kind of snap it, or you can just cut it straight through based on how good your scissors are. I'm just going to be doing 3 pieces, so I'm just going to mark where I want my holes to be, and you could just do that by lining up and kind of, again, in the center of the block. So this is just real simple. You can do this in different ways. You can embellish this, but I'm just doing it nice and simple. Once you have your holes, you'll fill them with some glue. You could do hot glue, a different kind of glue. You could do a mixture. But again, you want to make sure you're straight with your holes and hold your sticks in place until they dry. Once it dries, it looks something like that. And again, you could stain this. You could stain the wood pieces and then paint the red pieces like a different color and have like kind of a color block thing. But I just did mine real simple. And then you're just going to glue it as secure as you can. You're going to have to hold it in place till it dries. And once it dries, then it'll look something like that. And then I spray painted it, and this is how it came out. All right, so that was it for today. I'll link some more, and I will see you in the next one.